Members of the Seneca Cayuga Nation, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for traveling great distances, for spending your money, your time to be a part of our governance process. What they're doing is all carries no weight of law. So we are holding the official meeting of the Seneca Cayuga Nation. This is our mandated general council. So thank you so much for being here. We have a new approved agenda. We're not going to get fancy. We're just going to follow this agenda. We're going to be conducting business as we always should be. You will have a voice. I'm going to stand out here if that's okay with you guys because we're just the same people. I just happen to be the voice at the head of the room. They sit back there behind desks or whatever they want to do and elevate themselves. That's not what we're about. This is our tribe, our voice, and our attempt to govern ourselves in an orderly manner. Everybody's doing a fantastic job. Thank you all for being here. The first order of a business, the agenda has been approved. Tribal membership has been, the babies have been approved. Is there any other orders of business with regard to tribal membership that needs to be presented?
I move that all those who were removed be replaced, put back on the rolls so that everybody can have their voice.
Okay, can you come up? I'll restate the question so that everybody can hear. A motion has been made that all of those members that have been removed by, help me with it.
By the business committee and the chief.
By the business committee and the chief and their actions of the past of the dual enrollment fiasco.
And the current enrollment. And the current enrollment committee.
And the current enrollment committee, that they be what?
That they be reinstated as full tribal members.
That they be reinstated as full tribal members. Yes.
I'm not forgetting anybody. Oh. I also would like to see Leroy fully reinstated and Roberta fully reinstated as tribal members and recognized as tribal members.
So the motion is before you. All those, this is for reinstatement of all those tribal members that have had their membership taken away, including Leroy specifically and Roberta specifically. All those in favor of that, please signify by raising your right hands and saying yay. Yay! All those opposed, raise your left hand and say nay. There are no opposed, motion passes.
Excellent.
Mr. Secretary. Secretary is in place and is taking the minute. Yes, sir. Chair recognizes Paul.
Should we appoint an interim election committee to count votes? Be sure that we have the proper form.
I second that motion. We're making it a motion.
Making a motion to appoint from the floor an interim election. I want to make a.
I'll restate the motion, or come up here, Paul, and face the group.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to make the motion that we appoint from the floor a interim election committee to count votes to verify that we are still within the quorum.
I second it.
The meeting hasn't been adjourned properly or anything, but I want us to make sure that we still maintain our quorum.
I'd like to make
Okay.
a
A motion has been.
I have a point of order.
Yes, ma'am.
You must ask for division on any discussion on any motion made.
That's fair enough. Is there any discussion on the prior motion? Point of order was made that for any question in the form of a motion that comes before the audience must have a discussion period. I failed to do that a while ago. So the motion has been made and has carried. Is there any discussion on that needs to occur? Gentlemen in the back. And this is just an attempt to clean up our process to make sure that we're golden on everything we do with regard to process and we're not interfered with simply due to process. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I know the vote's going to pass and I'm for it. I just wanted to make my statement. You know, I am Quapaw and Seneca Cayuga. I always have been, I always will be. The vote of these people or whoever, if you want to take and go back to single enrollment, that's fine. What I've always wanted to say, and I've always said it to people, is we have to think about the fact that you want to go to single enrollment for a tribe that is already two tribes. We are the Senecas and the Cayugas. And you want to limit us to a single tribe? Fine. Then choose. Are you Seneca or are you Cayuga? or will you allow dual enrollment within our tribe? I support the motion. Thank you for discussion.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? That being said, discussion is closed, and we will vote again, just to clean the process. All those in favor of the original motion, which reinstates those removed by the Business Committee in their recent actions, and specifically reinstates and recognizes Leroy Howard and Roberta as tribal citizens, please signify by saying yay and raising your right hand.
Point of order. Did you also reword that and take a new vote and remember to include them as also those listed as inactive?
The motion has been amended to include those that are inactive. We are
As listed by the business.
as listed by the Business Committee. And we'll take a new vote. All those in favor of that reinstatement signify by saying yay. Yay! All those opposed, nay. Hearing none, the motion passes. Tribal membership issues. Are there any other tribal membership issues that need to be addressed?
Got a motion on the floor for the appointment of count.
Very well. Hearing no other issues with regard to tribal membership, there is a motion on the floor, as reminded by the gentleman. The motion is that we appoint a interim or temporary election committee to count the members present, so that we make sure to maintain a quorum. All those in favor of that signify by saying, or is there any discussion? Yes, sir.
Do we know if that, if Robert's rules or the Constitution actually calls for keeping track of if we still keep a quorum or not to be able to go through, or
Actually-
having one at the beginning is good enough?
Actually, good point. Robert's rule states that so long as there's no new quorum call, once a quorum is established, you don't need to continue to reestablish it. So that being said, would you still like to represent that? Okay. We would still like to do it for one solid count, and then after that, we have no requirement to continue to do that so long as there's no quorum call. All those that are in favor of establishing an interim election committee, please signify by saying yay. Yay! All those opposed signify by saying no.
No! We don't need it.
Okay? The motion passes. So we will now take nominations for that interim committee.
I nominate Linda Curtis Smith for.
And how many members does that committee have?
Three. The committee now has three.
Let's do 5. It was originally 5, also for the sake of quicker counts. We have one nomination. Linda, do we have a second, third, fourth, and fifth nominees? Sonny? We have 2. Sonny, would you come join Linda?
I'm gonna nominate Jim Winkle.
Jim? Michael? 3 nominees. 4th nominee, or volunteers? Erlene is nominated. We need one more at least.
I'll nominate Brian Birdsong.
Brian Birdsong. Would all the nominees please come forward and stand right here so everyone can see who you are? Are there any additional nominees?
I nominate Yvonne Thurman Matthews.
Yvonne, come up please. Okay. So you're going to recuse yourself.
Nominate J.R. Matthews.
JR, are there any candidates that need to recuse themselves?
Linda Curtis Smith. His on it.
So you don't hold an office. You are candidates. Fair enough.
If none of them recuse themselves, I decide to decline.
Okay. Very well. I need a motion that nominations cease, or I need new nominees.
Actually, point of order.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to create discussion about what the council thinks, and anyone that might have a conflict of interest is running for office.
Okay.
Because, we don't know what the rest of the agenda will pour out today, and we don't know if there may be vacancies created. So I'd like to have some discussion concerning anyone that's, and I even nominated Ryan, he's running, I'm sorry, I just think that was a good point after I hit that we should might consider. So, open for discussion.
Can the audience hear the gentleman's statements? I'll restate, he wanted to open for discussion the possible conflicts of having people on that committee that are running for office, and open it up for floor discussion to determine whether we need to ask them to step down because of potential conflicts or whatever the discussion may be.
Who's running for office?
If you would raise your hand, who's running for office?
If you would make this a permanent position, I would not run for grievance.
And that's what I was going to say. I don't believe them sitting in an interim position would in any way affect their ability to run for a permanent position, even for the same position. There's a lot of replacements that go in and then run for that position permanently and are capable of just staying in that office after taking it up.
And they could recuse themselves on anything, which would still leave a quorum.
Okay.
We would still have enough work for them.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, further discussion.
Yes, sir.
If you look at your new amended agendas, there is one on there for vacancies. That not through an election process, the grievance committee positions were awarded a new term in 2014 and did not run for office.
Loud as you can, Steve.
They did not run for office in 2014, yet they were awarded an extension in their terms. Everybody that's on the recognized grievance committee as of now that you have listed on the website was either elected in 2012 or 2013 to a 2-year term. And so, everybody that's on that committee is no longer on that committee, and the committee stands silent. And so, we cannot prevent the general counsel or members from having due process and a right to redress grievances. So as you'll see on your agenda, we do have vacancies, and I think that anybody that's running for the grievance position in the current election race should recuse themselves, because the entire grievance committee is vacant because they did not run for re-election in 2014.
Correct.
Any other discussion? There being no other discussion,
Now make a motion, I would change it to a motion, Mr. Chairman, that anyone running for the grievance committee needs to recuse.
as a point of order, we have a prior motion that needs to be attended to.
Okay.
This is our remaining candidate list for this interim election committee. All those in favor of approving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? We have 5. 5 is what we were after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just to count votes at the meeting.
We're just counting bodies.
That was
Discussion has been had. You've made your choices. The question is up for a vote. All those in favor of approving these as our interim election group, please signify by saying yay.
Yay.
All those opposed, nay. Okay, the motion carries. This is our interim election committee. Mr. Secretary, have you recorded those names? Thank you very much. Okay, item number 7 is vacancies. Are there items? Yes, sir.
I believe that Paul made the motion for a quorum counting, and that's why we did the election. I think we're probably supposed to go to that point now.
Verify. Very well, then. There's been a call for a quorum count. Will the newly elected election committee please verify the number in the House? It'll have